Good afternoon, everyone. The regular meeting of the Gary Redevelopment Commission on February 19, 2020 is now called to order. We have a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner.
Present.
Commissioner King.
Here.
Commissioner Hall.
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Let it be noted that Commissioner Johnson and Mr. Love is absent at this time in the meeting.
With 4 voting members present, we do have a quorum to conduct business for the Redevelopment Commission today. Certification of the record for the executive session held February 19th, 2020. Statement of executive session. I hereby certify that nothing has been discussed in executive session held immediately before this open meeting except those items specified in the submitted notice. One motion, please. Motion approved. Second. Been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? If not, have a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 4, acceptance and approval of minutes of the annual and regular meeting held on January 22nd, 2020. What's the board's pleasure?
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not, roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 5, acceptance and approval of minutes special meeting held on February 4th, 2020.
I have a correction to the minutes. In the commissioner's comments, I'm quoted as saying we do have control over the public school properties, where it should say we don't have control.
It's important.
I just want to get the right thing.
No. Yeah, that's important. Here we go.
Can I ask you all to speak up, please?
I will do. What's the board's pleasure pending the correction to approve with the modification?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? If not, then the roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 6, claims list of February 19, 2020, which has been previously approved by our director. Give an overview, please.
Yes, in the 101 general fund, total claims to be paid in the amount of $10,854.59. In 474 non-reverting fund, claims in the amount of $1.727534.16 million. And in the demolition fund, claims to be paid of $2,037.81.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not in the roll call, please.
Madam President, Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 7, special claims list of February 19, 2020, which has been previously approved by the director. Overview, please.
Yes. What you see here are the first half of the year's bond payments, funds that you typically do not see expenditures out of because they are a single site allocation area, and the payments that have been made out of those are for the bond principal and interest, as well as other expenses through the various TIF issues. In the 823 consolidated TIF fund, the amount of $350,093.00. In the 833 county market TIF fund, $252,758.95. In 838 Truck City, $80,405.00. In 854 Kirkyard, $481,854.00. In the 840 GUA facade program, the amount of $36,300.88. This is actually the first time we've had recipients and have paid out of the GUA facade program, and we're hoping to ramp up that program and expend those funds. And we recently had an update to the facade program, which I believe we reported on last year. It's been approved by the RDA, so we have expanded the boundaries to be within the routes of the Gary Public Transit corporations routes. So it allows more businesses within the city of Gary to be eligible for those funds, which we have the application available on the city's redevelopment website. And finally, 826 Lakefront tip, amount of $269,850.00.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Roll call.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Madam President, if I may, I have one request to, an addition on the agenda, just came through this afternoon. As the board is aware, we have a contract to sell 1301 Broadway, and part of the approval process that they're working through with NDOT are actually closing a street cut along Broadway because their access will be off of 13th or Massachusetts. That it needs a signatory from a representative of the Redevelopment Commission. So I'd ask that item number 24 becomes ratification.
Authorizing executive director to execute the documents necessary to approve that.
First, we'll have a motion to amend the agenda.
Right.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? None. Roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
The agenda has been amended, and so you are adding an item where a signature is required for
Closure of a road cut. It's a disclosure that NDOT requires for basically from the property owner saying that yes, we indeed do want to close this road cut because Broadway is NDOT's jurisdiction along that right of way.
That's number 24.
The new number 24.
In other words, authorize the executive director to execute and all documents necessary to approve for that.
So I'm going to ask you when 24 comes up again to restate that.
That's so eloquently said by our redevelopment commission.
The one. The one. I can't write all this in, but okay. We'll get to that when we get to number 24, and those subsequent numbers will move on. Okay. All right, item number 8.
Yes, item 8 and 9, even though you can vote separately, I'll handle them as one. At the special meeting last week, we approved the budgets for both the non-reverting funds as well as the TIP funds in order to get the budget's input into our RDS system. Upon reviewing, we had sent the board an original draft that didn't contemplate some of the changes that were requested by the finance department as far as items being within certain line items for where the board pays our contractual services out of. And because we saw discrepancy from the resolution from the spreadsheet that was submitted to the finance department, we felt that the most prudent path was to correct any potential discrepancy because there was multiple versions of the document as we reviewed them with both the board as well as the finance department to make sure that there is no question which is the approved budget. So what you have in front of you is the updated or request to amend Resolution 7004 and Resolution 7006 to avoid any of that confusion and to make sure that the numbers that both the board has approved as well as finance has on record are the same.
Which one?
Is that for a motion?
Which one is this? Is this the corrected version of our books?
Correct, yes. I don't know if you can amend 8 and 9 at the same time, or you want two separate.
I think it's probably proper since it's finance that we do it separately.
Second.
Yes.
For a motion to approve resolution 7004.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Now, may I roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Item number 9, request for approval to amend resolution number 7006, resolution amending the budget for the non-reverting fund for some fuel for year 20, and it's already been explained by the director. What's the board's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly second. It's been properly second. Are there any other questions or comments? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Item number 10, request for approval of resolution number 7010, a resolution accepting the transfer of certain real properties from the city of Gary. Property addresses 3545 Virginia Street, 1618 Tyler Street, 2640 Stevenson Street, 2264 Connecticut Street, 1212 West 18th Avenue, 1240 West 18th Avenue, 1236 West 18th Avenue, and 1718 Hanley Street, located in the city of Gary, related to the city of Gary's Hardest Hit program. We have an overview, please.
I'll actually turn it over to Deputy Director Carol Purtle for an update on this.
Those are properties that are located in the city of Gary. We are asking that the board accept these properties from the city of Gary for the Redevelopment Commission so that the properties can be demolished under the Hardest Hit program that we have going on in the city.
Board's for the
For a motion to accept resolution 7010.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Now, may I roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Item number 11, request for approval of resolution number 7011, a resolution accepting the transfer of certain real properties from the city of Gary. Property addresses 2633 through 35 Broadway, located in the city of Gary, related to the city of Gary's redevelopment opportunity area. Give an overview, please, Ms. Baker.
Yeah, this is a piece of property that the Redevelopment Commission would like to make available for future purchase and put back on the tax rolls. And as per with any properties that the city of Gary transfers to the Redevelopment Commission, there will be a 80-20 split in the proceeds as per our memorandum of understanding between the city and the GRC.
Motion to approve resolution 7011.
Second.
So we've been properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Item number 12, request for approval of resolution number 7012, resolution authorizing the execution of a professional services contract for asbestos removal and disposal services for various demolition sites in the city of Gary with Industrial Installation Solutions Incorporated. Give an overview, please.
Carol will also be giving an overview for 12 and 13, and I'll turn it over.
Industrial Installation Solutions, the previous contract has already been executed. It was a 2019 contract. The contract was ended on December 31st due to the fact that the hardest hit has not been approved downstate. Therefore, now that we're trying to pay the contract, we needed to re-execute the contract for 2020.
And for
Also.
7013.
Right, for also the same thing for the harbor.
And for a motion to approve resolution 7012.
Second.
So we've been properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Make a motion to approve resolution 7013.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Item number 14, request for approval of resolution number 7014, resolution transferring certain property to Habitat for Humanity in Northwest Indiana. Property address is 1700 Washington Street, 1708 1738 Washington Street, 1736 Washington Street, and 1740 through 44 Washington Street. Name and overview, please.
1700 Washington Street for the 4 properties located there. We are wanting to execute these properties for the Habitat for Humanity to continue their build over in the 16, 17, 1800 block of Washington and Adams for the Field of Dreams. So we would like to donate these properties over to them so that they can execute bills over there and put the properties back on the tax roll to homeowners. And if you have any questions, we have Dawn from Habitat for Humanity, the executive director here, if you have any questions for her.
What's your timeline for completion, once these are executed? What's your timeline to have these up and, I guess, back or ready for the bid?
So we are going to be using home funds,
Okay.
and we are looking, we actually have to resub.
You can, if you could stand so that the camera can see it.
That's sort of where Carol is. So.
So we have to re-subdivide in order to make the lots buildable according to the code, the building code. So once we have 2 lots together and we can re-subdivide, we will start building probably within the next year. And we hope to build 2 to 3 homes per year.
Are these all contiguous?
Yes.
Okay. And I wasn't here, a year or 2 years ago still. This is part of an ongoing project of several blocks?
Yes, so all of the 1700 and 1800 block of Adams, except for 1 property, are all Habitat for Humanity homes. Yes, and there's a new park that was put in, there's a new fire station over there. It's a very nice little community. We just submitted the permit yesterday to finish 1828 and 1838. And that will complete the 1800 block of Adams.
Wow. How many homes have you built to date?
To date?
Yes. In that area?
Oh, in that area? In that area, 20 maybe? I'm guessing. I'm counting the numbers real quick in my head. I think it's 20.
So you do 2 at a time typically?
We try to do 2 at a time. It's because, of course, we use a lot of volunteer labor. And if we are done with 1 property and we need to turn those over to subcontractors for electrical or plumbing or anything, then we can work on the other one and get that ready for our subcontractors as well.
I volunteer for Habitat for Humanity, and we do great work.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we look forward to seeing you back.
In LA, we do 10 properties at a time.
Oh, we only have 1 construction manager right now. 10 properties at a time might overwhelm me.
So segue into it, I was going to ask you, how do you get your volunteers for those?
It's hard.
For your houses?
You don't.
We have a lot of, thank you, Rufus. We have some volunteers, Rufus, who we haven't seen out on a bill lately. I haven't seen out on a bill.
1,000 hours.
Yes, you have. Rufus was one of our core volunteers and continues to be one of our core volunteers. I was giving him a hard time. Yes. Thank you. We actually, what we're doing this year for 1838 is our faith build. And so we are reaching out to all of the Christian faith organizations throughout Lake County, Indiana. And we're having a breakfast to kick off our faith build next Thursday, actually. But we're hoping for churches to come together to help build, whether it's prayer, whether it's monetary, or whether it's volunteer, or all 3. Absolutely. So we're reaching out to the faith community for that build. And then we also have Women Build, where we have a lot of community groups come in and build with us as well.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Motion to approve?
Second.
It's been moved properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Any other questions or comments? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 15, request for approval of resolution number 7017, resolution approving the ratification for the fiscal officer of the city of Gary to make a temporary interfund loan from the Lakefront TIF Fund 826 to the Blight Elimination 855 Fund. Overview, please.
Yes, what we are requesting is a short-term interfund loan from Lakefront TIF HE6 into the 855 Blight Elimination Fund to pay contractors that are doing demolition work and landscaping work regarding the BEP program with the city, and to make sure that we're paying them in a timely fashion as the administrative review is completed from both an inspection standpoint by the city as well as documentation from community development to ICDA, and give them time to review so that there's no lag in payment for, additional lag in payment for contractors, and we keep the project on track. The funds will be repaid on a, in this case, a repayment basis from the federal funds that we receive through ICDA for blight elimination. So we anticipate that having complete repayment by the end of this year.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved in properly second. Are there any questions or comments?
I have one quick question.
Yes.
Do we have to then ratify at each meeting, repayment of those as well? I mean, is that going to be something that will be?
No,
coming
we're
up?
already approving the interfund loan. As far as, I do mean as far as the acceptance of the funds.
Yep, well, when the repayments are made, is that another administrative item for us? I'm just curious.
I will ask the controller whether or not it's
Okay.
required for, since we're doing the loan,
Yeah.
whether or not there needs to be a corresponding action as far as with the repayment. I'll ask the controller just to make sure that there's a, in case we do need to do that.
Yeah, if we need to do it,
We'll do it.
I'd like to reduce the paperwork.
It's a very good question.
Since we control both funds. Okay.
as long as it's authorized, I think we're good. And that's what this improvement will.
Okay.
I'll have her get state board of accounts.
Very good. Any other questions or comments? Okay, it's been moved in properly second. May I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 16, request for approval of resolution number 7018, a resolution approving the ratification for the fiscal office of the city of Gary to make a temporary interfund loan from Consolidated Area TIF Fund 823 to the Redevelopment 474 non-reverting fund. May I have an overview, please?
As I said, we are making a short-term loan from Consolidated TIF 823 into 474 non-reverting. This is the fund, our non-reverting fund, in which we are paying the contracts for both construction as well as construction engineering out of that are 100% RDA and EDA grant funds. However, as with the blight elimination program fund, there is some lag as far as when construction is complete and pay invoices are approved to where we're able to do the administrative paperwork through RDA and EDA to pay the contractor. And in all fairness to the contractors, we want to keep them working. And these funds are meant to be used in a reimbursement basis, so we are creating the ability to stay caught up on our bills for the contractors so they continue working, keep the job on schedule, on time, and on budget. And this is one way to help keep that moving. And the funds that are being borrowed into 474 will be repaid from the proceeds that we receive from both RDA and EDA.
Motion to approve.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? No. May I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 17, request for approval of resolution number 7019, a resolution approving the execution of the extension of the lease between the city of Gary, Indiana, Department of Redevelopment, I'm sorry, as lessor and the Lamar companies as lessee. You have an overview, please.
This is a lease extension for an existing billboard that is on Broadway, and Sean Pettit from Lamar Companies is here, so I'll allow him to give an overview.
Good evening, commission members. As AJ alluded to, this is a 8x16 wood build structure that is south of the Boardman Expressway on the east side of Broadway, near the Urban League. This was an Urban League lease that the Redevelopment Commission inherited when acquiring that parcel through your process. The lease expires April 30th of this year, and we're proposing a small increase for a 15-year lease agreement between Lamar and the Redevelopment Commission for Gary.
Move to approve resolution number 7019.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not, make a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Commission. I have to excuse myself. I have an FOP meeting at 5:30. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Item number 18, request for approval of resolution number 7020, resolution approving and authorizing amending of a certain purchase and development agreements with FPM Truck and Trailer Sales Incorporated to extend the time of completion of construction to December 31st, 2020. Maybe, overview, please.
Yes, and you see the pamphlet provided by Mr. Angulo from FPM Enterprises, and he is here in the audience. This is a property that the Redevelopment Commission agreed to sell in 2018, December 2018.
December 2018, right.
Yes, and through the course of revitalizing the site, they've been working through the commercial design release process, which, as I'm sure you guys are aware, isn't always the easiest to navigate. They have cleaned up the site. I've been out there personally, and they've done a majority of the work. The last component of it is their addition, which they're putting on the building, which they've just received, I believe, permits for, and they were waiting on the commercial design release, and they had approached me late last year about requesting extension because of the extenuating circumstances with getting permits, and I thought with the amount of progress they've made to that point, it would be appropriate to engage the board and ask for an extension. So at this time, and if you have any questions, Mr. Angulo, you can stand up if you like. As far as, and they don't believe they'll need this entire time, but I felt it was more prudent to give longer rather than to come back in a couple months because we never know what construction season looks like with our weather.
We'll say this, it looks significantly improved
Yeah.
from what it was before, thank you. So, board members, any questions?
I was just curious about, or curious to learn more about FPM Enterprise, Inc. Like what you guys do or contribute to the community. I wasn't on the board in 2018, that's why I asked.
Okay, we sell highway trucks. We buy them, clean them up like a retail dealership, but in used part.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve.
Second?
So moved and properly second.
Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments? Not in the roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 19, request for approval of resolution number 7015, a resolution authorizing the execution of a professional services contract with Stewart & Sons Incorporated to replace beer lines and accessories at the Gary Railcats baseball stadium. An overview, please.
You'll see items 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23 are interrelated to capital expenditures in regards to ongoing contractual agreements between the city of Gary, who owns the stadium, with the Gary Railcats team, And both Brians are here from the Railcats, and I think they can more eloquently describe the improvements to the ballpark since they've worked directly with acquiring the bids and going over the scope with both Attorney King, myself, and other counsel to make sure that it's in compliance with Indiana statutes as well as our agreement with the Railcats. Gentlemen?
All of them at one singular.
Yeah, you can. Thank you. I got this, I really do. Thank you, so you can go through each one and then we will do what we do after. So
Sure. So number 19, Stuber and Sons is replacement of what has turned out to be collapsed beer lines in all of our concession stands. They're 18 years old and they're won't be here anymore. Request number 20 is scoreboard repair and repainting of the stadium scoreboard. So the backside of it has panels that are coming down that are a danger to oncoming traffic, and the structure is rusted out. So this will repaint the structure, reattach new paneling in the spots that are gone, and reattach all of them so it's no longer a safety issue. Request number 22, Vans Enterprises is for annual field improvements, removing some lips on the back of the infield, leveling out to reduce and eliminate safety hazards. Request number 23 is to update and renovate 2 suites on the suite level. Remove cabinets and flooring and install new countertops and flooring into the suite level. Number 24 is a new field machine and new gator for operations at the stadium. Number 25 is a lift rental to support the structural project. Request number 26 is for converting our production room from standard definition equipment to high definition equipment.
One clarification, the most recent version of the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We had, going to request to amend the agenda for resolution 7025, 7026, and 7027. So I'll read them aloud. Jerry printed these out earlier, and I failed to mention that these were requested to be added. So I would ask to request the approval or amendment to the agenda for resolution 7025, a resolution authorizing the execution of professional service contract with JW Turf for the purchase of field machines at the Railcats baseball stadium. Request for approval in addition to resolution 7026, resolution authorizing the execution of a professional service contract with Herc Rentals Chicago for boom lift rental at the Railcats baseball stadium, and approval of resolution 7027, resolution authorizing the execution of professional service contract with B&H Photo Video for production room upgrades at the Erie Railcats baseball stadium.
They're on mine.
Okay.
It was just on some copies.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
You have the old one.
I have the old agenda, so.
There you go.
That's what I think we're good, but.
Okay.
Okay,
I apologize.
No problem, no problem. So are there any questions to Brian?
I have a question. So pending approval to these resolutions, that means we're going to have another year like 2013, right?
You overweight, yes, sir.
Guaranteed.
I would love to guarantee that, but we'll certainly try.
I'm a little iffy now.
Okay.
How's your throwing arm?
This is my knee.
Make a motion to approve, we'll give these one at a time.
I think
Resolution 7015 through 70.
But they're not in consecutive order.
Oh, okay. 7015, 7021, 7022, 7023, 7024, 7025, 7026, and 7027.
Second.
All right, so we moved in properly second. Are there any questions or comments? If not, may I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Yeah.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Now, there's another, we were gonna make this number 24, but it's not actually number 24, it's
27.
It's 20, it's 27.
I was going off a,
Okay, that's what I was a little confused, why did we get in the middle of that, but I was like, okay, maybe this, something else going on. All right, so number 27 was previously authorization for a director to execute documents with NDOT.
regarding a road cut closure along Broadway.
Motion to approve.
Second.
So moved and properly second. Are there any questions or, wait a minute, did I get a roll call on the last, on other stuff?
I did too.
Did I do a roll call on that one, so before we do this one?
No.
Yeah, that's what I said, hold up. We have a roll call on the previous, motions for the resolutions regarding the Real-Pats Baseball Stadium.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Okay, now we're done. Sorry about that, I was like, I don't remember the vote. Okay, so now on the motion that's currently on the floor, authorizing our director to execute documents with NDOT regarding the road cut on Broadway. We have a motion on the table already, so it's already moved and properly second. Roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Joyner?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Okay. All right. Public comments on agenda items only.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Peter Wackey. I live in the second district, and of course, the commission is too embarrassed to mention how much the work being done at the Railcat Stadium is going to actually cost the city. I added up, and it looks to me like about $800,000, maybe a little over $1 million. And this is for one of the wealthiest attorneys in the Chicagoland area. Mr. Salvi, of course, got a deal on the Railcat Stadium, and he's never missed an opportunity to fleece the city, Redevelopment Commission, and the residents of the city every time they need some piddly little thing over there. When they talk about replacing beer lines, who do you think, what landlord do you think replaces beer lines for a tenant? What landlord do you think puts in a new batter's eye? He didn't mention the batter's eye in his overview, but that's the little thing that, you know, that's a video so people can see what the batter sees. How many landlords replace that? How many landlords replace the grass and lawn mowers and camcorders for their video operations? You know, you might be able to get away with the repairs to the scoreboard. You might be able to get that, but all the rest of the stuff is piddly stuff that Mr. Salvi should be paying for out of his own pocket. Nobody in this city is going to benefit from new beer lines at the baseball stadium. The only person who's going to benefit is Mr. Salvi himself. I myself have never attended a baseball game at the Railcat Stadium, and judging from the character of the residents, of the attendees, most Gary residents have no interest in the baseball stadium. However, Redevelopment Commission had an interest, $55 million to build it. And the promise was that we were going to see benefits, we were going to see some sort of economic development. We can't even keep the restaurant open in that place. Even though you spend $85,000, we can't even keep the restaurant open.
Thank you, Mr.
Send these guys back to Chicago.
Are you going too?
No, I'm going to stay here and play ball.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments as it relates to agenda items only? Item number 28, report from our director, A.J. Bittner.
Nothing additional, Madam President.
Item number 29, report from Commissioner Attorney David King Jr.
No report.
Item number 30, Commissioner's comments. Commissioner Hall,
None.
Commissioner Joyner,
None.
Commissioner King.
Yes, at the council meeting yesterday, Mr. Nowacki, made a statement concerning something that we did last meeting, which sparked some of the minds of the council, and they had some questions. They wanted to know, what current bids are open. They would like to also know, what bid opportunities are coming up within like maybe the next 2 to 3 months.
Just a general statement, your current bids are open, or you want something specific?
Anticipated or that are open during the time frame. They would like to be updated on the process of assessing awards. And they would like to know how opportunities are communicated to the public. And these are in response to the concerns of a resident.
Okay. All right, did we get those questions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then lastly, I think Mr. Nowacki should go to a baseball game or two. I think it might make you a little happier.
I can't afford it.
I can get, I've had tickets before, so I think I can get you.
He's not going.
We'll talk about it over lunch. I was gonna try to get him to pay for it.
I'll buy you lunch. I'll buy you lunch.
Any other comments?
More than you get out of Mr. Salvi.
Moving on. I was about to say, echo what Mr. King said, is that you should at least go to a game. If you've never been to a game, you can't really critique what's actually going on. So you're really pretty much throwing stones at something that you never attended, and which makes your comments less credible. No, you don't get to comment, you're done. In that, you know, you kind of mute yourself because you haven't been an active participant. And I will continue to bring that up across the street. We need to focus on that building across the street. Now, you know which one we're talking about. The eyesore that's downtown that you happen to own. Then the other thing, which is more of a personal note, I just wanted to wish my best friend a happy 50th birthday. She's across the world, but I just wanted to do that. Anything else? School board representatives, Ms. Bucks is not here today. Are there any agenda items for the next?
No, it's not.
Okay. And item number 34.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved. Moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Now then, roll call, please.
Madam President, Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The Gary Redevelopment Commission meeting of February 19, 2020 is now adjourned.